Welcome to the Ballard Proud podcast. It seems everyone can agree that Ballard is a fantastic school district, and when asked why, the answer always includes some reference to, well, it's people and relationships. So I'm on a mission to get to know the people of Ballard and find out why everyone is so proud to be part of this district. I'm Danny Trimble, Superintendent for the Ballard District, and I'd love for you to come along with me on this journey to uncover what it means to be Ballard Proud. Welcome to this edition of the Ballard Proud podcast. Our guest today is Crystal Reinertson, Assistant Principal at Ballard Middle School. She's a familiar face in our district. She's worn a variety of hats in her time here at Ballard, and I'm looking forward to you all getting to hear from her today. Crystal, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, Crystal, you're not new to the district. Tell us about your path here, to get here and maybe while here.
Well, actually, I have kind of been all over, and coming to a small town of Huxley has been truly a blessing in disguise, because I grew up in big cities and never thought to find myself in a small town, and have fallen in love with it. So I have lived in Hawaii. Went to school there, graduated from Chaminade University. My husband was in the military. We moved to Tennessee and did some school there at Austin Peay State University and student taught there. And he got out of active duty, which brought us back to Iowa. And we settled here at Ballard. His family was here. And so I got hired over at Ballard West, teaching first grade, and I taught there for 7 years, and then went and got my master's in education, and wanted to try out Ballard East, and moved over there to do fourth grade. And I was there in fourth grade for 6 years, and went back and got my master's in administration. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try every building. And as I said that, my oldest son, Kai, said, Mom, if you follow me to the high school, I'm switching districts. I said, it's really not that bad having your mom in your school. So I said, no worries. I will only go up to the middle school. And I moved up to sixth grade here at the middle school and fell in love with the middle schoolers and that age. And quite truthfully, I always saw myself as lower elementary. And these middle schoolers are my jam. I just love being around them. So being here at Ballard has just been a blessing, and staying in at Huxley and embracing the small town has truly been a great experience.
Nice. And I just love that you have had so many connections in the district, and you also have some coaching background, right?
Yes. Yeah. I have coached. I started coaching in 2001, doing junior high softball, and I did that for 2 years. And then I moved up to high school, and I coached the high school, assisted the varsity, and coached JV in ninth grade as well for 10 years. And in 2012, we made it to state, and we were the 3A state champs. And that was such an experience. Loved every minute of it. I also coached junior high volleyball. And even though my 5'2" stature would never make me be a volleyball player after, my own high school experience, love the game, and love working with the middle school kids. So those are the two sports that I've coached.
Nice. So a little bit about Crystal, not at school, or maybe at school. Maybe you listen to music at school, but I doubt you have time for that. So what's on your playlist, Crystal?
Well, it's funny you say that, because typically people like listening to music. It's kind of a calming thing for most. I am probably one of the rare. I very rarely listen to music, but when I do, it's country. I do enjoy like Morgan Wallen. But when I'm in the car, typically my radio is off, and I just like the calm. And if music is playing in my house, it's because my husband, and he truly likes doing that and having background. But, a song will come on and go, oh, I like that, but I couldn't tell you who sings it. I couldn't tell you bands. And so music is good for a lot of people, but in my case, it's not one of my go-tos.
Yeah. It's interesting that we all just have our different things we gravitate to. And
Yep.
yes. So I also know that you're a very busy person for a lot of reasons, but I am going to ask you if you ever have time to slow down and watch anything on the screen. What are you streaming? Do you have any series that you're following?
Oh, well, not that, middle school doesn't also come with its set of drama. Just due to with the age, I do love my TV that is the reality TV because it's not my drama. So I typically like to pop a bag of popcorn and just sit and watch some reality TV. It could be, Big Brother. I've watched Love is Blind, some of those. But right now, the series that I'm really attached to, which isn't reality TV, but it's Suits. That's my Netflix where I am trying to work through all the seasons with that.
The great thing I love about streaming now is that it actually does make TV a little more accessible for those of us who work crazy schedules, and it's there when we want it.
Yep, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. All right. So what else do you like to do when you're not at school? I know you have other interests.
So right now, my youngest, Cade, is still in college, and he plays for Valparaiso University in Indiana. And so he's a catcher, which is what I played when I was in college. And so we have a good connection with that. And he's still playing. So I like to try to catch his games. And if I can't make the long distance travels, like watch it on ESPN Plus 9 times out of 10 is where I can catch him. And so watching his games in the spring. If I'm not watching baseball from college, I like watching professional, which Cubs are my team. And so that's a sport that I can watch on TV and be glued to the TV to do that. But not only that, I have found a new author that I have embraced and started reading when I have time. That's my, little pleasure I do. But Frida McFadden is the one that I've kind of latched onto. I like mystery books. I like solving some of those murder mystery type things. And so that's kind of what I'm doing in my free time right now.
Awesome. Yeah. It's just so fun to hear what people do away from here. It is a pretty consuming job, but we do like other things, right? So
yes.
All right. So when you hear the words Ballard Proud, you talked a little bit about your love of being here in the small community, but when you hear Ballard Proud, what comes to mind?
The first word I would say is family. And I associate Ballard Proud as family, regardless of what age a kid is to the adults that are here in the community and the school. Everyone looks out for everyone. And just being at all the different buildings and getting to know the different levels of kids as I've gone through over the years, I really notice it in how we embrace connecting school to our community, whether we invite people to come in for Grandparents' Day in 4th grade, and how we celebrate our barbecues at school and get families to come in. And a lot of times we wouldn't, I can tell you in my big school in Bettendorf, where I went to middle school and high school, we didn't have those. When I grew up in Kansas City through elementary, we didn't have those types of days where our families were invited to come in and celebrate those things. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind. And what really gives me goosebumps, and even today, is when we made it to state in 2012. I made a phone call to Lee Eddy, who's on the fire department. And I said, hey, Lee, we just beat and we're going to state. And can we get an escort as we come into town? And it didn't take 30 seconds before he was on the horn, and he was getting every fire truck and getting the word out for us. And the girls' excitement to see how they were supported by our community and by their peers was just something, you couldn't make up. And even when we went back and we were winning each game, we got those escorts out. And, years later, as other sports go to state, you still see that same camaraderie of the fans and the support. And so it just makes me so happy to see, it doesn't matter what level, from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And even after, people remember, Ballard and, oh, you're a Ballard kid. And, they put a big smile on their face, and, we're known as family oriented. And that is so, so exciting and so fun to hear, that people also see that same, even though if they're not from this, if they're Ankeny or Ames. So that's what I think of as family.
Well said. Yeah. Well, for our families who haven't gotten to send their kids through middle school yet, they have a lot to look forward to get to interact with you and the things that you do to help families feel welcome in the building. Yeah. And so we appreciate you taking time to give us a little glimpse into more about what makes you tick. So thanks, Crystal.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ballard Proud. There's more to come as we dive into what it means to be Ballard Proud. Until next time, I'm Superintendent Danny Trimble, and I hope you have a great day.